To talk about this more is social worker and CEO Roxanne Francis with Francis Psychotherapy. Good morning. So glad you could be with us. So let's start there. How can parents teach children diversity at home?
Good morning, Marcia. I think it's so important for parents to actually spearhead this with their little ones. What they really need to do is talk about the differences that different Canadians have made in our society and the contributions that they've made. We need to talk about different cultures, different ways of life, different foods, festivities, and just let our children know that everyone's important and everyone can contribute. And it's important to have different people in our circle.
And why is it important to start all of this at home before kids even get to school?
Yeah, well, research has shown that even if we don't talk about race or diversity, that children have already made up their minds and have come to terms with their own biases by the time they hit 4 years old. And so when children get to the playground or even get to kindergarten, sometimes they are probably not kind to children who don't look like them. Generally, as people, we tend to gravitate towards the familiar. We tend to gravitate naturally to people who sort of look like us and behave like us. And so, if we talk to children even before they get to school about the importance of different kinds of people who don't dress the way we do, people who don't speak the way we do, people who don't look the way we do, then we will develop a level of empathy in their behavior, so that when they get to school, we will not hear negative stories about being called names and being shunned on the playground and in the classroom.
Can you give us a couple of tips on how to start that conversation?
Most definitely. I think, when you are reading books with your children, first of all, it's really important to be sure that you have books and toys that are representative of different communities and different abilities in your bookshelves and in your playrooms. So read books with children that have different protagonists and play with them with different kinds of toys and talk to them about the differences that the characters have. When you're watching shows on TV, when you're watching cartoons, be sure to watch movies and shows that have diversity and represent different views. So you can talk to the children, use those points of contact to talk to them about differences. When hopefully in a post-COVID world, when we have festivals that celebrate different traditions. For example, even right now, it's Chinese New Year, and you can talk about differences. You can talk about Black history, and bring this up to the children. Have a talk about it with your family, with your extended family, so that they get used to it.
That is great advice. I love your point about the books. That's
Hmm.
such
Hmm.
great advice.
Yeah.
Roxanne Francis, thank you so much. All the best to you. Glad you could be with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.